After Nick Rolovich's lawyer filed a 34-page appeal of his termination from WSU, it looks like a lawsuit is on the horizon for the university. But what kind of case can Rollo bring against the school? More on that from Murrow News 8 reporter Derek Strom now.
Since Nick Rolovich was fired from WSU, his attorney Brian Falling sent out a letter promising legal action against the university for what they said was an unjust and unlawful termination. This was followed by a 34-page appeal that was sent out on Thursday. But what do these letters mean in a legal context? And what case does Rolovich have against Washington State? According to WSU sports law professor Chris Lebens, it's going to be an uphill battle for Rollo.
It's saying WSU somehow, some way, shape, or form has singled out Nick Rolovich and his Catholicism and said no to it. That didn't happen. That clearly didn't happen. And that didn't happen to anyone who's out there looking at this.
Towards the end of our interview, Lebens brought up an interesting point. He mentioned that unvaccinated students were allowed to stay at WSU until the end of the semester, whereas Rollo was fired as soon as the vaccine mandate kicked in. I wanted to learn more about this process, so I talked to an unvaccinated student who wished to remain anonymous. The student told me that they were initially granted an exemption in August, but WSU changed the exemption process, and when they applied again a month or so later, they were denied, but they were allowed to stay on campus until the end of the semester. I also asked the student how they felt about students being allowed to stay for the semester versus firing Nick Rolovich as soon as the mandate began, and they said in their opinion the university didn't want to expel unvaccinated students from campus because of the negative financial impact it could have if they had to refund part or all of the tuition those students paid. It's hard to say if that discrepancy will be included in Nick Rolovich's eventual lawsuit against the school, but until then, I'm Derek Strom, reporting for Murrow News 8.